Hello again everyone, Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube video segment, I'm going to be talking about being alone for the holidays. Now, most people that celebrate, whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah, they often have people they surround themselves with, they embrace, often family members, close friends. Now, I've spent a number of Christmases alone, and it has its good points and it has its bad points and aspects, and really being alone, being in solitude, it's become perhaps my best friend in recent years. Most of my family is either dead or they're living far away, and this will be undoubtedly another Christmas I will spend by myself. Now, on the positive side, this is a period perhaps for introspection, for self-evaluation, times that we're alone, regardless whether it falls in a holiday period or not. But it's also a time, I believe, since I'm probably not going to spend it with anybody, to be grateful and express gratitude for sustenance in life, subsistence, being able to survive, having my basic essentials and necessities. Being alone on Christmas, sometimes I feel it reflects me to some degree, that maybe I wasn't worth the company of others. A lot of it is attributed to my personality as well. I'm a very introverted person. I do like my solitude and seclusion. Being surrounded by people, though, and having people to celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever it is the person may celebrate this time of year, it's not going to define who we are, though. I mean, we define ourselves. So I really don't want to look at myself in a negative light just because there's nobody to spend it with. I still will embrace the holiday season just the same. I likely will still give out presents to people even if I don't get anything in return, because I don't think anything supersedes the gift of giving. Now, everybody has their own perception of being alone. Somebody told me one time on Facebook, it said nobody is ever alone, but the odd thing is that person does have a significant other. It's easy to go and say to people that are alone in the real tangible, literal sense that they're never alone when they have somebody. Now, I'm not saying he's a friend, and it doesn't mean it's not veracious at all. It means that you might have somebody, people in spirit, but it's still not the same thing as actually having a physical person or people near you during the time of the holidays. The holidays and Christmas for me, when I was younger, it used to be about give me this, give me that, I want this present, I want this. But now that kind of goes to the back burner, I guess you could say. And for me, it's more about giving. And what I will do this Christmas is that I'll embrace the season by giving and give myself some happiness this way. I will probably, like I said before, I'll probably will spend it alone and in solitude. But I think the fact that I know there are still people out there that care about me. I have some close friends, not many. Most of my family, as I stated before, has dissipated or is either not here. Literally, they're not on our physical plane anymore, and I prayerfully and hopefully they are on a different plane right now and they're in a better place, or they just live far away. What I'll do is, as far as being alone, I think one positive maybe I could derive from this as well is that I'm not the only one, and that's going to most likely spend Christmas alone, that there are other people that are in that same situation. Now, some people just thrive on their own company, and they deal with this better because whether they're acclimated or accustomed to it, or just some people just have a little more of an aversion to being around others, and therefore they are able to adapt to it a little bit better. With me, admittingly, it would be nice to have a few people to celebrate it with. I understand I have people on Facebook that I can correspond with a little bit on this day and put my statements on my homepage, on my wall I should say, and wishing people a Merry Christmas or whatever they're celebrating, and get some responses. But at the same time, I do realize, and I am cognizant of the fact that it's still not the same as having people around. When I was younger and when I was in school, it's very much the same way. I didn't have many people as far as my friends and my own age contemporaries. I didn't really associate with many people, and a lot of that was by choice. And now, I guess, being alone, I have what I didn't really state was, but I think it probably went without saying, the fact that I'm going to be spending Christmas alone. I have no significant other, obviously, and I think the one part that hurts is, as I was stating before, well, sometimes I still look at this as a reflection on me. I feel, well, was I not worthy of being with somebody? Did people see me as not being worthy of spending this time with? I'm on a situation where I'm on very limited income. I understand how that goes. And as far as attracting that significant other, it becomes very difficult. And when you don't have that someone, I mean, I'll come out and state this because I don't care who knows, I'm age 44. So essentially, for all intents and purposes, I'm sure at least half of my life is probably over. I'm an older person now, and the way I see it, at this point in time, there's still some opportunity to have somebody in my life, but I do realize, because of my monetary situation, it's very difficult. I suffered irrevocable nerve damage to my arms, extensive nerve damage, a number of years ago, and it's gotten to a point where it prohibits me from even operating a motor vehicle because of this. And it's hard for me to go out and really do anything when you have the limited income is tied in strongly to my physical ability, or I should say lack of. And I think what hurts is when I'll see other people. I know we shouldn't really compare, but we're only human. We have the tendency to do this periodically. And I'll see other people really very affluent and well off. They have their family situation. And when I see these things on TV, and people frolicking and merrymaking and having a joyous time with others, with their family members, having at least one child, having that significant other, sometimes that's when it hits home. But at the same time, I think what's important for us to remember during this holiday season, those who celebrate it, is that even those that are going to be by themselves and feel that they're not blessed and may feel a little indignant because of this, just remember that you do have your spirit, you have yourself. Most of us do have subsistence and sustenance, and we are able to still, the fact that we're able to cope, the ones that can strongly cope with and adapt to being alone, are stronger than maybe a lot of other people realize, the ones that are on the outside looking in. And just because this will undoubtedly be another season, a holiday or Christmas that I'll spend by myself, it doesn't mean I'm going to give up on life. And I encourage anyone, no matter how despondent or disconsolate somebody may feel because of this, that's in a similar situation as I am or the same, that you still have yourself and you're still, we're all, I mean, almost everybody is important on some level. We all have gifts that are bestowed upon us. We have the gift of life. We are alive. And most of us out there will be able to enjoy an abundant meal and cherish it. It may not be with an actual physical person, but we do have ourselves and we have our spirit, and that does mean something, I think. And the fact that we can be alive and we can celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever it may be. I celebrate Christmas. Other people watching this video may celebrate Hanukkah. Obviously, if you don't celebrate anything on this holiday season, then obviously that's your own thing, and I don't condemn anybody for that. Everyone is entitled to have their own philosophy and belief on it. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this segment for being alone on the holidays, and until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.